Hi YouTube, Juke Baser here once again. As I said, I'm going to be constantly reminding you of the 5th of October, the biggest Black History Month event in Europe. It's actually a free event. You can get your free tickets on Eventbrite. That's in Birmingham on the 5th of October. But for more information, just listen to the advert.
After a huge success of the event last year, we're back. The Black History Activity Book Launch Part 2 with special guests the Royal Highness Queen Diambi of the Democratic Congo, Mfudishi, Charmaine Simpson, and Dr. Mark Wilcott. And don't forget Andrew Linder, the author of the children's activity books, will be interviewed by the host, Mandingo, Pan-Africanist Gaviite. Come and learn how great you are. Make sure you support all the vendors in the biggest African cultural market in the UK. This event will be held Saturday the 5th of October from 12 till 7 p.m. This event will be held at the Bingley Hall, 1 Hockley Circus, Hockley, Birmingham, B18 5PP. For stalls, call 07896 494 056. Follow Black History Activity Books on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. This is a family event, so bring all the children to the Black History Activity Book Launch Part 2, the biggest Black History event in England. Get your free tickets from Eventbrite today.
Now that's on the 5th of October, Birmingham, England. This is the Juke Baser channel featuring Mutabaruka on YouTube.
We want to, well, I don't want to apologize because I don't have nothing to do with it. That I am told that the apps we get IRFM out of work, they're not working properly, need to update. So I pass on a message to the relevant people them, so I hope. It's a long time I hear about it still, you know, said nah work and I don't know how you can manage. This is the cutting edge with there with you. One of the one, may I tell you, Jamaica busy, you know, busy. We want to, we hear that the Ministry of Culture is having a meeting at our office with artists in seeing how they can do something to help the country that has been devastated. I mean, them say is the wickedest hurricane ever passed through. May I tell you, wickedest hurricane, category 5, it's now on the coast of Florida there. So, yeah, they want to see what kind of help can be extended to the art territory, to Bermuda, yes, to deal with the devastation. We hope that we can hear what transpired there. You know, we are in the season of Miss Lou. Miss Lou's birthday is this weekend, and it will be one, if she was alive, she would be 100-year-old. Our influence has resonated in Jamaica, where the language of the people has been recognized, or is recognized by Miss Louise Bennett Valley. Want to say give thanks for her to bring it from out of the dregs and bring it into a reasonable, accepted, as I say, reasonable with caution too, because a lot of people still don't accept it as a language. People call it patois, dialect, Creole, and all these things. It is a language. Just like the English language is a language. And if the English language, if Jamaican language is not a language, then English language is not a language. And Miss Lou show you where the language derived from. So, as we say, we are in that mood. Why to know that tomorrow we will livicate the program to Miss Louise Bennett. Yes, we will be playing our Maslow and Run. We will be playing My Auntie Roach Say, and some other things that we have lined up. And we'll be doing interviews. As a matter of fact, tonight we're going to start the interview. We have an interview lineup with Imani Tafari. You know, so I'm a sister. Imani Tafari. But meanwhile, in between time, brand new tune. Here we go. This is the cutting edge on RFM. Yeah, this is the cutting edge on RFM. Have you been listening to these people, politicians? I mean, as some know say, the thing weird, you know. Because here's a party divide up themselves in a two. Peter 1 and Peter 2. And the things where them a say against one another, it's GLP them a fight against. And you know so the GLP a tape everything, you know, because you see when time come now for election, them go and go play back some of them clip there that they would have never believed so them did say it. Come here the people them say something against one another and that man say, wait, I couldn't the same party. And them a go and like said, oh, well it finished, we're back to normal. When them a go out with no normal, it's not normal for people go on so with one another Rasta. No, me I tell you, me hear the man them a go on, it's not normal for people who in the same house behave that way there to one another and then claim say boy right now, after that it will be normal, even if it look normal, the underlying thing will be there. Can you imagine when the Prime Minister call election and him start to play back some of them tape where them are against one another? Them, you know, my mother used to say them fennec grease. Them guy fennec grease. Because I can't believe to the man them attack them thing against. A long time I don't say, you know. Eh? Yeah. Wait, me I get popular man, I so much later me have no guy. People don't know why I said, alright. Yes. No, it's a terrible thing. It's a really terrible thing. I can't believe that the people that must say these things against one another. I hear when the one was saying him at the head of the Peter 2 part attack against Peter 1. And I said, no, them not serious. But them serious. And then when them don't know, them expect you to vote for them to run the country. Black people only not see it. Only not see the thing, man. Only not see the thing. Only not see it. It's power them I work with, you know. Power. And you know them say, power corrupt. Absolute power corrupt absolutely. This is a good example of how the thing work. How the system work. And you hear the Peter 1, the people them in a Peter 1 and the people them in a Peter 2, it come like the two of them on the PNP, you know. Because when you hear, I mean I talk about the one them who are run now, are the minister them, the parliamentarian them, I talk about the normal delegate them when them look for them vote. If you hear the delegates from Peter 1 side talk about Peter 2, and hear the Peter 2 talk about Peter 1, you don't think say Peter 1 attack against GLP and Peter 2 attack against GLP, but at the same house. And them say them not divided. What the hell you talking telling the people them? But they only not divided. Only divided. Only divided. One want to run against the other, and one want the power. One want to take away the power from the other one, and the one want to maintain the power over the other one. Only divided. Don't tell no foolishness and make the people them. It sound like them don't divide. They are divided. Because there's no way somebody can tell me, say, you're not divided and you are reacting away to one another in the same party. A joke business, how would them tell them food she say? And sometimes they make you see what them want to see. And sometimes what you see is not the reality of what is. And that is the cloud and the mask that them put over our face. Them cloud up on mark, them cloud like we have matter in our eye, we can't see good. Like we are drive on a dark road and have no headlight. Them cloud it up. So they make you see things. But the reality is that what you are seeing is not what is. That is what them do. And look how much time it will go on and on and on and on. And that go now for both parties. When you see them have now PNP over here and JLP over here, so the two of them grab the people. Them is like some Cyclops. You don't know when name Cyclops? Google Cyclops. You don't know when name two-headed dragon in a mythology. Two-headed dragon. And when the gladiator or whosoever fight the dragon and them chop off one of the neck, that no kill the dragon. The dragon still alive. One head don't stop the dragon from do what? From blow fire. And we're living in a state with two-headed dragon with one body. And we thought we had gotten rid of that body in 1962. When we take down the Union Jack and put up the Jamaican flag, we thought that we would have gotten rid of it, but we don't get rid of it. It's still grip way. That body, that colonialism, imperialism, British rule, white supremacy, still maintain itself in Jamaica. And you don't have to have the physical people them here to maintain supremacy over the people them subject. You don't have to have no physical manifestation of these people. All you need is a system in place. And when you put that system in place, people make the system work. Because you have what you call puppets. But who don't recognize that them is puppet. You must see the move where the puppet then become alive. Until I start murder people. Because it was just some puppet on a string. And them a move here so I go there so until them start become live. And then it's like you can't control them. And them really believe say these people, this is in control. And them is not in control. Them thought that way and them sound that way because they were educated by the slave master who them claim say is not governing us again. They were governed by them, these QCs and these whatsoever them call themselves. They are governed by the same people them who enslave us. Because the relationship with these people was not broken in 1962. But it take a different turn. And the turn is that, all right, I won't be present here with you. But I will set up a system that you can govern yourself. And what is the system that them set up to govern themselves? A system that is perpetually keeping the people subjugated to a so-called fantasy and illusion that these people continue to have the people them in with them orange and them green. All these little jingle jangles them swing in front of the people them. Swing it in front of them, make the people them feel say, yeah man, green, and you say no orange, and you say no green, orange. Because them know about symbols. People them don't know about symbols and how symbols control we. Symbols control the minds of human beings in most societies. It's not what you read, you know, it's what it's things symbolize. Like when them put a stop sign in front of you. You know say that stop sign not because you read stop. Because you can read, but you have a man who pass and can't read, but you know say stop. It's like the flag. It's like the stop light. The stop light don't say stop, go, get ready. It have colors. That is symbols. Arrow point that way, say go that way. You don't have to see it mark left or right. Depending on where the point of the arrow point, you go that way or you go that way. So it go. It's so it go. When you drive in, you see certain symbols. You see a little stone or roll down one little rectangle. You say, well, you pass in a mountain here and sometimes stone will roll there, so you must be cautious. That's symbols. So you have to be reading. You know, see it, but you deduce that this is what it means. So them have these guys, and they are guys, Negroes, niggers, nigrophiles, all of them. They are what we call it, coat and tie people who feel justified in them coat and tie. And sometimes them Italian shoes and them Italian suit. Because most of them don't buy them suit here, them get it abroad. With them tie, them phallic size symbol around them neck, choking them in some 96 degrees weather. So they are perpetually manipulated by a system that recognizes that these little guys is what we will put there to maintain our supremacy over the masses of the people. So every 5 years we will have them voting and voting and voting and changing and changing and things of them changing. But them not changing anything. Things are going to look better depending on who's saying it. Depending on who's saying it. If you are more articulate in your delivery, what I say will look better to you in your mind. That's what politicians do. So when you listen to the two people them right now, we are fighting against one another. When you listen to Peter 1, you are convinced that Peter 1 is what you're supposed to deal with. But then now, when you go and you interview Peter 2, you realize Peter 1 still don't make no sense after all. It's Peter 2 you work with. And the recycling and cycling go over and over. Peter 1 talk, you accept what I say. Peter 2 talk, you throw Peter 1. Peter 2 talk, and Peter 1 come back and talk, you throw Peter 2. And them keep you doing the same thing, the same way, all the while. And you expect to get a different result. That is the wish of a stupid person, or persons, or a group of people that keep doing the same thing the same way all the while and expect to get a different result. Because these people, the same people like we, but them place themselves in a situation and a position that them feel say them can rescue the majority of people who is oppressed by farmer slave plantation owners that is not present in Jamaica now but is in Europe, where there's over them, they France, them they are Germany, them they are Portugal, them they are Britain, them they are all over the place. But them do have to be present here. Terrible thing. Terrible, terrible thing. This is the cutting edge. Here we go. Now the unsung heroes of Jamaican music. Culture, the group. Master Griffiths doing over them song. Capture Rasta. Yes, here we go. We're not getting through. Thank you very much. We're not getting through. Sorry about that. We wasn't getting through. We was talking about we have 3 parties in Jamaica now. Yes, we're not talking about the MDM, or that MDM, or what's your MTV. We are talking about PNP, and GLP. Did you know that Marcus Garvey started the first political party in Jamaica? Yes, Marcus Garvey started the first political party in Jamaica, the People's Political Party. And it never come from no other party that was in Jamaica. These 3 parties where you see I run up and down the place now came from one source. PNP, GLP, PNP again. So you have PNP, and then you have PNP Peter 1, PNP Peter 2, and no matter what happen, Peter going to win. No matter what happen, I will never go have election Saturday. Who bet me how much money say Peter win the election? Anybody out there bet me? So when in the night you go and hear say it's Peter win the election. Yes. And then now them are now go to GLP. But it's the same three party them. Same three party them. What a terrible thing them have the people them, and the people them is so, there's none that is so blind that me that cannot see. It's a terrible thing. Them so blind to reality, you know, when you look at it. And then when you talk, you become the problem. And you become the problem. When you talk, you become the problem. Anyway, we want to continue the journey. We're going to talk to, okay, I will pass over to the studio and I may want to. We're going to talk to at 11, yes. I'm on Tafari. You know, say the daughter you go where I'm gonna see her for a long while. I know she come forward, like she come up and stay now. She not stay now. Yeah, but yes, we want to talk to her soon and very soon. Okay, so we're going to play this bridge in here. This is one of the albums that I tell you say I will go in the Grammy nomination for next year. Yeah, I put that one in. And I put the Master Griffiths one in the two, you know, timeless. Yeah, I put the Master Griffiths at two that me gone. So I will figure out which are the four of them, which are the four or which are the three. Supposedly there usually five them select. So yeah, I put that one in there. Mass manipulation by okay. Steel Pulse and mass manipulation by Steel Pulse and Timeless by Master Griffiths. I put them two there.
It is the will of His Majesty, Rastafari, that such persons of goodwill need to get knowledge of truth. Peace be unto you. Peace be unto you.
Cry blood! Cry blood! Cry blood, for my people,
I saw it done. Yes, okay. As you say, we have an interview here. We're starting out the 100, Miss Lou 100 celebration in the night, yeah, and then tomorrow we give you a whole program featuring Miss Lou. In the meantime, we're going to play this. Here we go.
Welcome to Jamaican Roots and Culture. I'm Pat Clark. September 7 marks the centenary of the Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley. It's indeed fitting to use this medium to honor one of Jamaica's great literary ambassadors. The Honorable Louise Bennett Coverley, Miss Lou, has contributed so much to Jamaica's cultural landscape. Known best for her poetry and social activism, Louise Bennett was born on September 7, 1919. Since an early age, she had the taste for the theatrics, and at 17 she recited her first poem at a concert at the Coke Methodist Church in 1936. However, her early works were not appreciated, mainly because of her use of the Jamaican dialect, as the British accent was highly admired at the time. Nevertheless, Louise Bennett remained persistent in using the Jamaican dialect in her poetry, as she wanted her poems to be a mirror reflection of the life and philosophy of Jamaicans. Miss Lou's poem Colonization in Reverse became one of the main sources of her fame. It reflected the thoughts of the minorities of post-colonial times who were residing in the UK. In this poem, she touched the sensitive topic of racial inequality experienced by Jamaicans as well as South Asians under the post-colonial rule, and especially those minorities who had moved to England in search of better jobs but were facing oppression at the hands of the British. In 1945, Louise Bennett went to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts in England, then later joined the British Broadcasting Corporation BBC and hosted Caribbean Carnival and West Indian Night on Radio. She later married Eric Winston Coverley in 1954, and in 1956 she became the drama officer at the Jamaica Social Welfare Commission. Later on, Louise Bennett got appointed as its director. Bennett also taught drama at the University of the West Indies Extramural Department and at some other agencies. Ms. Lou was subsequently awarded the Member of the British Empire for her work with the Jamaican Theatre, and also received several other awards nationally and internationally, like the insignia of Order of Jamaica in 1974 by the Government of Jamaica for her extraordinary performance in the School of Literature and Arts. Louise Bennett was also a strong advocate for women's rights. This is reflected in her poem on Jamaican women, which highlights the versatility, strength, and power of the Jamaican woman. Louise Bennett lived the last decade of her life in Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. She died on July 27, 2006 at the Scarborough Grace Hospital after collapsing at her home. A memorial service was held in Toronto on August 3, 2006, after which her body was flown to Jamaica to lie in state at the National Arena on August 7 and 6. A funeral service was held in Kingston at the Coke Methodist Church at East Parade on the 9th of August 2006, followed by her interment in the Cultural Icon section of Jamaica's National Heritage Park. Here's our Jamaican proverb for the day. Take kin teeth, keep a heartbone. Use a smile to cover a heartache. This means you should remain confident and joyful even when you encounter bad situations. Take kin teeth, keep a heartbone. For Jamaican Roots and Culture, I'm Pat Clark.
Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on RFM. You know, we do some tune with Miss Lou years ago, and because of the 100th anniversary, we decided so we're going to go and remix one of them and itch up my voice tonight. So we have a combination there, so with me and Miss Lou. Here we go. This is the Cutting Edge on RFM. Miss Lou 100. Yeah.
Yes. Greetings and good night.
Hi,
My brother
Manny.
Musa.
How you do?
Greetings and good night.
Yeah, I said, how you do?
All the good and better for having heard you tonight. I'm disturbed for the content of what you're organizing about.
You get disturbed?
I'm disturbed because, you know, when you say there's none so blind as they who will not see, that's a serious kind of dilemma to even try to communicate about. So,
I
more
tell you.
power to you, brother Musa.
Yeah, man, because it's a tree party we have now. Look how long we want a tree party. Now we get tree party.
And that's what you call a sleight of hand.
May I tell you? But me know who I go win. Me know who I go win.
You mean Peter?
And Peter go win. Of course, Peter must win. All right. Better things to talk about. Miss Low, 100.
Okay.
May I tell you? All right. So, for those of you who don't know who we're talking to Mrs. Shin Imani Tafarai Ama, research fellow at the Institute for Gender and Development Studies at the University of the West Indies. Apparently now they put her in charge of something, that's why she did that. She got to talk to me, right?
Yes, I'm Chapter Rasta.
Well, they capture Rasta. We never do it. Rasta never capture them, no idea still, but I tell you, no problem.
Yes.
All right.
Well, in my role as research fellow at the Institute for Gender and Development Studies, we are actually hosting 100 days of celebrating this new centennial. So on Friday night, the 100 days of celebration kicks off with a gala celebration at Undercroft at the Institute of at the University of
Somebody Opal Palmer called me today about it.
Yes, and I'm sure you'll be there too.
Yeah, she called me today. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, she called me today about Friday night. Yes.
Yes. So that's what that is about. And actually a number of different institutes at the university are partnering to make this happen, because we recognize that in spite of the fact that in our living memory, Miss Lou is just the other day. A lot of young people don't know about Miss Lou.
Yeah.
A lot of older people don't know about Miss Lou.
It's true. Like Aishana see nothing about Miss Lou from last year. With the bandana debacle that take place last year. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's Aishana's critical incident demonstrating the extent to which there's this gap in the public memory.
Yeah.
So to fill that gap, institutes like the Department of Literature in English, the Philip Sherlock Center for the Creative Arts, the Jamaican Language Unit, have all come together to say we need to put on events to make students on the campus and
recognize,
yes. And humbly look into the gap in their own cultural attitude, because this is part of how we reject our history, our heritage, our identities, as you were saying earlier, in favor of the colonial narrative and framework for how we present ourselves and represent ourselves. And that's what Ms. Lou was resisting so long ago. The fact that she would be 100 years old on the 7th of September means that she would have been no chick. How is it that all these years we still have the structures in place that you're talking about, that gives us a political system that she was also oppositional to, because it reinforced that colonial mentality. And so in celebrating her centennial, we have to question how we have come to this place after 57 years of independence, still struggling against the systems of stratification that Ms. Yu was all about dismantling.
All right, so that is when? That is Friday night.
Yes, that's
It's still there Friday, okay.
Yes, so to kick off the event that will culminate on the International Human Rights Day on December 10th, we will have this launch, and a host of friends of Ms. Lou, artists, academics, entertainers, families who have that memory of Ms. Lou impacting them will be on the show. And we are paying homage in as best a way as we can do. With limited resources, never mind, but with very big heart.
Yeah, well, I am told that the concert that's supposed to keep in the Emancipation Park has been postponed until December.
Yes.
You heard about that, right?
I heard about that.
Yeah, I'm going to postpone until December. Okay, yeah, all right, continue.
So actually, the Institute for Gender and Development Studies Regional Coordinating Office partners with the Ministry of Culture and Gender, Entertainment and Sports to do this event. But pretty much it's the Institute for Gender and Development Studies that's sharing the weight of the facilitation. As you can see, the impetus is not as momentous as it could be. Even though we...
But why is it so? Why?
I believe, Muta, that what you were saying earlier has resonance. We have so denied this essential part of who we are as African people, because let's name the elephant in the room. Because there's no debate about whether Chinese in Jamaica are Chinese or Indians are Indians.
And there's a debate about if we are Africans.
The problem happens because Africans have been in a state of learned helplessness for centuries. And the education, or what Dr. Carter G. would call the miseducation system that is prevalent, which even people want, who are talking about in terms of the hierarchy of the education system, which is normalized as new secondary schools versus traditional schools in the state. So we have this apartheid education system, which in any event starts off with Christopher Columbus discovering Jamaica in 1492. So we don't have a sense of having history before Christopher Columbus lost his way and came to massacre the people of the Caribbean.
He came before Columbus, Ivan Van Sertima.
There you go. There you go. So we have a great struggle, even within the university system, to dismantle this colonial empire that is still within us, within our minds as a people. It's fortunate for me, and I think people like you who would have cited Rastafari or found some other way to penetrate the lives and the dysfunctionality.
Yeah.
So it is critical that we would have found that way to be able to look and stand for this kind of contradiction that is our everyday reality. But what about the majority class that still has to be washed whiter than snow when they imagine what Christianity should look like?
Yeah. Okay. So you said this is going to end in December.
Okay, so let me tell you what some of the events will look like. So here we are in September 6th being the gala event. That will take place at the Undercroft at the university on Friday night. And then on the 9th of September, the Department of Literature and English will have a special author seminar dedicated to Miss Lou. On the 19th of September, the Philip Sherlock Center for the Creative Arts will host a lunch hour concert featuring University Dramatic Arts Society, the University Chorale, and the Art Corps Performing Arts Company. On the 26th of September, Dr. Joseph Parkinson, the coordinator of the Jamaica Language Unit, will be meeting with organizations and groups and individuals supporting the Jamaican language launch, the launch of the Make Jamaica Official campaign, because part of this series of events is an advocacy campaign to nationalize the Jamaican language.
Okay.
And so on the 3rd of October, the courtyard of the Faculty of Humanities will be named in honor of Miss Lou, the Louise Bennett Park.
Pardon? That might happen when? The 3rd?
Yes, that's
But wait, I know you mentioned Sunday. The university not involved in the renaming of Gantown Square in town.
Oh yes, absolutely. I overlooked that one. That's one of the partnership events.
Yeah, Sunday.
Of culture. So that the Gantown Square will be renamed in honor of
Miss Lou Square, yeah.
That's a major event.
Yes. Yeah.
And IRFM, of course, has endorsed this whole series of events, and they will be broadcasting live.
Yeah, well, last year IRFM was up there when they was unveiling the statue.
Yes.
IRFM was up there, yes.
Yes, so there's a series of events that will take place through the year until the 10th of December, which is International Human Rights Day, when the 100 days will end.
Okay. And we're going to have a special program tomorrow on Miss Lou.
Yes.
On the program, we will be playing some of Miss Auntie Rochi, Maslow and Ran, and interviewing certain ones who was close to her, you know?
Yes. And I understand that you will be interviewing Dr. Rachel Multiwood, the head of the Department of Literature in English, on your program as well as part of this endorsement.
Okay. All right, well, I'm only give thanks. Keep us up to date. I will be there on Friday. I will be there on Friday night. I will be there, definitely.
All on your life, man.
Yes, okay, give thanks.
Right.
Yeah, that was Imani Tafari. Yes, sister who we know from long time. She is now the head, the researcher fellow at the Institute of Gender and Development Studies, University of the West Indies, talking about the plans for 100 days of celebration of Miss Lou. It's not only in Jamaica it happening, you know. Not only in Jamaica it happening in Canada, England, especially England, Florida, New York, only for celebration for Miss Lou. So, as we say, we went into the studio and remixed a tune we do. It's several years ago when we want to play the one we originally do. Dirty Tough. Here we go. This is the Cutting Edge. Yeah, this is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. We continue the journey. We want to play this for the people. Listen.
Congo Crisis, in a nutshell. Since 1996, over 6 million people have died in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, so that we, in the Western world, can benefit from its resources. Congo is extremely rich in gold, diamonds, copper, cobalt, tin, uranium, coltan, and many other precious minerals. Congo has 64% of the Earth's coltan, a precious mineral that is needed for our modern electronics like iPhones, iPads, computers, laptops, PlayStations, Xboxes, Nintendos, jet engines, inkjet printers, and the list goes on and on. In 1946, the Strategic Minerals Stockpiling Act was passed to obtain and stockpile cobalt. With the largest reserves of cobalt on the planet, Congo was targeted. Cobalt is a strategic and critical mineral that is essential for our aerospace, military, and defense industries. As the United States and the United Kingdom provide financial aid and military aid to countries such as Rwanda and Uganda, these neighboring countries plunder Congo's natural resources as the death toll rises. In 4 studies, the United Nations implicated multinational companies in sourcing coltan from Congo, stating that these companies serve as the engine of the conflict in the DRC. As the world benefits from Congo's riches, Congolese men, women, and children continue to be raped, tortured, starved, displaced, and killed. In 2010, a leaked United Nations report cited crimes of genocide may have been committed by the Rwandan troops. There is very little media coverage on what is actually happening in Congo. When Congo is covered by the media, it is often about rebel groups committing mass atrocities. What these reports do not cover are the funding, training, and the arming of these rebel groups by foreign governments. Nothing is ever mentioned about the Western-backed coups, wars, assassinations, or the involvement of foreign corporations in the looting of Congo. 48 women are raped every hour. Millions are displaced. Over 6 million dead. Half are children under the age of 5. What is happening in Congo is a silent holocaust.
And people don't know about it. You must remember what the Belgian king, King Leopold, did to the Congo. 6 million Congolese was killed, slaughtered. And guess what? Him never go to Congo yet. Can you believe that? He never go to the Congo yet, and him caused the death of 6 million people because they were plundering. Still they are plundering. You hear the man say, the same telephone where we have here, the computer them, the coltan come from the Congo. Yes, eat that. This is the cutting edge on IRFM. We're there with you. I'll go through the pieces. Here we go.
Without confidence, you're twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, you have won before you have even started. Let me take you into the halls of Timbuktu, when the teachers were you and the scholars were you. We mapped out the stars, knew when the comets flew, traveling the 7 seas on a rendezvous. Way before Marco Polo and his crew even knew the sky made the sea blue. Before they found out the world was not flat, we were building pyramids and practicing Mahat, using compasses and sketching out maps, walking valleys and climbing snow caps. When white guys were in caves taking naps, we were throwing dice, we were playing craps, reciting poetry and spitting out raps with a graceful bow as the audience claps. Back in the days when we praise Amen Ra, back in the days when we raised by the law, showing respect to our ma and our pa, saying good morning to elders we saw. Before Genghis Khan was taking lands, before Farrakhan was preaching Islam, As-salam, you alaykum, we were saying peace unto you, brother man. So why enslave my people and take my lands, take my treasures, put them in Buckingham, in Vatican and Smithsonian? Told me I had no civilization when I is the king of this creation. We were going to space before they went to the moon. Living in castles with 1,000 rooms. By the river Nile waiting for a monsoon. The banks will overflow and the flowers will bloom. Harvest the crops April, May, June. Bury our pharaohs in golden tombs, and if you open this tomb, your life will end soon like a curse from King Tut or Hatshepsut. So, come follow me back into the past, into the pyramids where spells are cast, where the pharaoh's treasures are great and vast, hieroglyphics on the walls, forever last. I went and took up a mask. Asked Master, what's my task? Hold a meditation and I hold my fast, and I hope one day to find my path. Conquer my desires, control my wrath. Jump in the Nile, take a spiritual bath. Karma Master has the eyes of the heart. See if I'm wise or just plain smart. I must be humble to develop my art. From the book of the dead I will never depart. Know all the ways from the end to the start. Read my books, watch people's looks. Penny their motives, they could be crooks. Lurking around on the low down, but I know they're coming cause I hear the drum sound from deep in the jungle where the tigers live, where yin and yang meet and we live positive, where yin and yang meet and we live positive, where yin and yang meet and we live up. So without confidence, you're twice defeated in the race of life, but with confidence, you have won before you have even started. The right
to be in the place of Ma'at.
Mosiah.
We anciently
Jamaican
lived 42 divine principles. And we made these 42 declarations of righteousness. Not have I done wrong. Not have I despoiled. Not have I robbed. Not have I slain. Not have I defrauded the offerings. Not have I diminished oblations. Not have I despoiled the things of interred. Not have I spoken lies. Not have I wasted food. Not have I afflicted any. Not have I wasted my seed. Not have I made to weep. Not have I eaten my heart. Not have I transgressed. Not have I acted deceitfully. Not have I desolated the plowed land. Not have I been an eavesdropper. Not have I set my mouth in motion against any man. Not have I raged except with a cause. Not have I defiled the wife of a man. Not have I defiled the husband of a woman. Not have I polluted myself. Not have I caused terror. Not have I committed offense. Not have I inflamed myself with rage. Not have I made myself deaf to the words of right and truth. Not have I caused grief. Not have I acted insolently. Not have I stirred up strife. Not have I judged hastily. Not have I been an eavesdropper. Not have I spoken overmuch. Not have I harmed. Not have I done evil. Not have I cursed the king. Not have I fouled water. Not have I made my voice haughty. Not have I cursed the Creator. Not have I committed theft. Not have I defrauded the offerings of the intervened. Not have I carried off the offerings from the beatified one. Not have I wasted food of the infant. Not have I sinned against the inter of the town. Not have I slaughtered animals. These 42 oracles of Ma'at were the basis from which Moses received the 10 Commandments when he went to school in the temples of Anu, in the Kemetic nation of Tawi, in the Nile Valley, in the land now miscalled Egypt.
Brothers and sisters, this is Onyx, and I want to share a piece that I wrote a few years ago called Immaculate Misconception. Sister J was kind enough to allow me to put this on her page, so here is Immaculate Misconception. From motherland to foreign land, from beaded necklaces to chains, from Africans to Americans, from warriors to slaves, from ritual to religion, from culture to Christ, From my shade to amen, they said Jesus died for our sins. How can we believe their white God died to save our black skin? Knowing they hate us the way that they do, they'd never worship a God they didn't believe hated us too. We choose to worship their God. We worship it more than they do. Yet our ancestors suffered, their masters tortured and beat them, made them bow to their knees and surrender to Jesus. But we don't honor our ancestors for the blood that they shed. We sit in church crying with Christians because Jesus suffered and bled. We don't look to our history for truth. We look to their Bible instead. But it's time for truth to be spoken. Something's got to be said. Something's got to be said. It's time we tear down their lie. Something's got to be said. It's time we do more than survive. Something's got to be said, for it's time we remember we're not African Americans, blacks, colors, or niggers. We're African people who strayed way too far. We're African people. We deny that we are because flowing like poison, their religion has spread, growing like cancer by our ignorance fed. We've been manipulated, lied to, deceived, and misled to the point that our ancestors' voices are dead. It's time we connect with our ancestors, disconnect their religion. Our ancestors were Africans before they were Christians. Our ancestors were Africans before they were slaves. It's time to start living and thinking the African way. In spite of what we've been taught, it's time to forget what we learned. It's time for truth to be spoken, but for truth to be heard, something's got to be said to cause our thinking to change. Somebody's got to say something. I've got something to say. Before Adam and Eve, before Abel and Cain, long before Noah's Ark, before the floods and the rains, before Abraham, Isaac, Moses, Joseph, and Jacob, before Samson, Delilah, Goliath, and David, before the prodigal son returned to his home, before the children of Israel for 40 years roamed, before resurrection, redemption, rebirth, and religion, before Christians created chaos and division, before a biblical fairy tale was accepted as true, before the testament, before a testament knew there was Osar and Aset, Heteru, Geb, and Sebek, Heru, Seker, Tahudi, Amen, Hirikahudi, and Ma'at were the principles guiding our ancestors' lives. Not a religion whose God was hung on a cross left to die. Our ancestors listened to spirit, and by spirit were led. Not by a book trimmed in gold, words of Christ written in red. Our ancestors walked in and lived in a spiritual dimension beyond Jesus Christ's understanding or their God's comprehension. By the time a virgin named Mary gave birth to a Savior named Jesus, our ancestors had constructed the Sphinx and built the pyramids of Egypt. Their white folks stole us and sold us and told us, surrender. They called us unworthy, called us ungodly sinners. They told us our God was a heathen and we practiced the pagan religion their God commanded. They practiced a form of cannibalism. Taking Holy Communion in remembrance of his death, they drank their God's blood. They ate their God's flesh. They arrested innocent women, put them in prison, charged them with crimes they'd never committed. In the name of their pagan religion, they told lies so convincing when they put these women on trial, no one would defend them. These women healed those who were sick before modern medicine existed through a method of healing which we call holistic. Yet these daughters and wives and mothers of children were unjustly tried and unjustly sentenced. And it was the Christians who preached thou shalt not bear false witness, who falsely accused them and convicted them as witches. It was the Christians who judged them and sentenced them to die. It was Christians who tied them to stakes and burned them alive. It was Christians who said they were evil and followers of Satan. It was the Christians who murdered those women in Salem. And the same Christian who started the witch hunt crusades wrote the Bible they lived by. His name was King James, meaning the God of the Christians allowed his words to be written by hands washed in the blood of innocent women. And in this Bible we trust that never acknowledges us. Not from the first word in Genesis to the last word in Revelations does their Bible mention our people, our history, our nation. Not one chapter, one verse, not one scripture, one sentence. So how could their God have created Africans in his image? Because if their Bible is true, Africans never existed. Their Bible says by his power, Jesus raised up the dead. Their Bible says by his power, 5,000 people were fed. Their Bible says by his power, Jesus turned water to wine. He healed those who were crippled, gave sight to the blind. By his power, he opened deaf ears and the mute may speak. But where does it say by his power, he unshackled our ancestors' feet? Where does it say by his power did he set our ancestors free? Where does it explain why his power still ain't set us free? We're not free as a people because we're still believing their lie. They don't need to shackle our feet. Their religion has shackled our minds. I don't care what you believe. They believe in a God with white skin. And if it's their God that you're serving, it makes no difference to them whether we're saved or we're slaves. It really don't matter. Because in their minds, we're still serving a white man as our master. So if you believe you're a Christian, if you believe John 3:16, if you believe their God is your God and his death set you free, then why did your God perform miracles and free the children of Israel, never even attempted to free your African people? Why did your God curse the Egyptians and take their riches away and let the Christians get wealthy, selling your ancestors as slaves? If their God, who's your God, loved you so much he died, then explain this to me. Tell me why your God freed the children of Israel from slavery by killing all the firstborn Egyptians. But when your ancestors were in bondage enslaved by the Christians, when Christian hands locked their shackles and Christian hands held the keys, why didn't your God kill their firstborn to set your ancestors free? And if hanging Jesus on a cross was to save you and me, who are our ancestors saving as they hung from the trees? If Jesus saved us by suffering in hell for 3 days and 3 nights, who are our ancestors saving by suffering each day of their life? If beating Jesus with a whip was to save us from sin, who are our ancestors saving as whips to open their skin? Who are our great-grandmothers saving as they were raped and violated? Who are our great-grandfathers saving as they were stripped and castrated? Why were our ancestors tortured? Why were our ancestors slaves? They suffered far more than Jesus, but not even themselves could they save. So how can we as their descendants spit in our ancestors' face by serving a God who ignored them as they screamed for his mercy and grace? How can we as their descendants call Christians our sisters and brothers when they snatched our African babies out of the arms of our African mothers? How can we as their descendants bow down and give praise to the God of a people who stole our language, our name, stole our culture, our heritage, our spirit, our will, then in our face shoved their Bible and told us thou shalt not steal? How can we as their descendants, the God of our ancestors, reject? They give our glory and honor and praise and respect to a cross they burned as they slip ropes around our ancestors' necks? How can we as their descendants believe Christianity could save us when the Christians who preached it were the ones who enslaved us? Peace, brothers and sisters. Thank you for letting me share my peace.
I tell you. Serious poem. You know the one where the part to touch me when she said, Jesus died for us on a cross. Our ancestors who hung from trees, who did they die for? You know, them hung our ancestors from bridges, from light posts, from trees. Who did they die for? And why did they die? And what did they die for? But we are supposed to accept that one man died for all of us so we can have eternal life. What about the hundreds, if not thousands, who hung from those trees, who were hanged from those bridges? What did they die for? This is the cutting edge. Yes, I tell you. But a brother there, I don't know which part him there, 2 songs him make. And that was, well, I guess he make more still, but I don't know of them. King Fragrance, he call himself. This is the cutting edge on RFM. We continue the journey where we find, say, when we talk about Africa, most of the time is African people vex. And for some reason or another, you talk about Africa, them vex. They must say, where you talk about that for? We're not African, we don't come from Africa. You must say we're black. We are black people, and that's where we come from, Jamaica. Oh gosh, man, what a thing. What a thing. When a people get so lost that them don't even know to them lost. Can you imagine a man lost and don't know say him lost? It's a terrible thing that, you know. Terrible thing. So where in the dark, him accept as him reality. And guess what? Him can't be see where in the dark, but him accept it as him reality. You ever hear about the man when in the cave, never come out there and him realize, say, this is the reality in the cave. There's nothing else out there. And one day him come out and realize there's something else out there. And when him come back, it's a terrible thing to tell people there's something else out there. Them plan to kill him. No matter where I come with these strange ideas from. But it's when you live in the cave, and in the cave, just in the cave, you don't accept nothing else more than what you see in the cave. So when somebody come out of the cave and see other things and come back and tell us, oh no, there's other things out there, it become a threat to what you call reality. What you call reality. You know, see, and I'm sure it's about something else out there. Something else is out there. You need to go there to experience it. You say, no, when I go out there, where you talk about? There's nothing else out there. Nothing else out there. But the people them who tell us there's something else out there never go out there yet. And them go try to tell people out there, they never experienced that. That's why we know there's something wrong with education. The man who teach you is the man who believe him know. And you can believe you know because the other man who believe you knows him teach you where you believe you know. And where you believe you know is not knowledge. It's just what you think it is. And you have to go now prove what him say. But you're scared to take that leap. Yeah man. Most of it afraid to take the leap. We take the leap when we go to school and we have to take exam. That is when we take leap. We have to take an exam, we study like what? And then we take the exam and then we pass it. And then we say, see, then we take that leap, but that's not the leap we are talking about. Because the leap we are talking about, guess what? If you just take one step, you don't reach on the ground already, you never have to jump. It's like a ladder, not even a ladder, it's like a piece of 12 by 12 placed between two sidewalk. Nobody's scared to walk on it, to go across the road, because it is a piece of 12 by 12 on two sidewalk. To walk from one side of the sidewalk to go over the other side of the sidewalk where the boat stretch for. It's not a problem. But guess what? Put the same 12 by 12. Put the same 12 by 12 on a skyscraper building with one building over there and the other building over there, and put the same piece of 12 by 12 across the two building them and tell you if you walk across it and see the problem we have. Big problem. At the same walk, at the same piece of wood, but you are cognizant of what is below you, behind, under you. And that is where the fear arises. The fear arises that you will never make it because your mind is placed not on the journey and the destination, but what might happen if you take that step. But you're never afraid to take it on the sidewalk. And most of us stay away there. Most of us stay away there, so we stay over for one side of the building and claim, say, we know the people who teach you believe them know. And you become now believing that you know. And you teach people who, after you don't teach them believe them know. The first man who get a PhD, he never, when did a PhD, he never have no PhD. The first man will say, he might get a degree, master's degree. He never have a master's degree. He never have no master's degree, they don't give master's degree. Do you see what I mean? That is where we ask the question. Because we are all living in that fear factor. We don't want to take the step because it appears that we will fall because the building is too high and the wood is placed between these two tall buildings. We are afraid to walk across because when we look down, it is a different perspective from when the wood is placed between the two sidewalks. Because now you feel that if you slip off of the wood, your foot will catch up on the side, on the street. But if you slip off of the wood on the two skyscraper, then down you go. So you don't prepare for the journey. You don't arm yourself to take that journey across the 12 by 12 between the two skyscraper. The empty space become a problem. The empty space become a problem because what we perceive might happen. What we think might happen. It's not necessarily quite happening. It might happen. But because we have that factor inside our way, we then put it away, then place it in our way, ram it in our way through them education, through them religion, then push it in our brains and say, look here, you're going to fall. Don't take it. You're going to fall. And some of us just take the journey and reach over the other side too. And is feeling quite okay. Slave can't free slave. Slave cannot free slave. You have to free yourself first. So that journey, you have to take that step. You have to take that step. And a lot of us afraid to take the step. Don't know why, but afraid to take it. This is the Cotton Edge and RFM. The time is 12 o'clock. Yeah, man, you know, it's one of the sweetest show me ever do was with them sister here. Especially when we go up on the stage and I say one of the poems them are right on the spot. Them I use them voice. But I pity I never have that recording, man. Yeah, man, I don't have the recording of it. I should ask Dave about that thing. It's like serious thing. Sweet honey in the rock. I know so we will stay with sweet honey in the rock. We will stay with them liquor. Here we go. It's Martella Queens out of South Africa. I shall be released. This song was written by Bob Dylan. And it was very popular in Jamaica, done by the Ed Tones. And you have one there with Nina Simone. And you have one with Nina Simone and Miriam Makeba. Okay, we're going to take some phone calls. So operator, send in a phone call if there's any out there. We will continue the journey musically in a different style. Yes, here we go. Yeah, man. Alright, somebody forgets that drum in there. We forget that drum in there. Okay, that's how it go. A sweet, sweet music. Yeah, man, sweet music. Yes, EL.
Good morning.
EL?
Good morning.
Morning.
How are you?
I am okay.
Eh?
I am okay.
Oh.
First lady, first call is a lady. That's wonderful.
Yes, it's Aaron Muma. Bless you up.
Long time I don't hear from you.
Yeah.
You go and leave me.
Yeah, but my link you up same way.
You gone a Booyak.
No, not Booyak.
Where you gone?
It was Canada.
You are Canada the whole time?
No, but from I come back, me message you, I'm telling you, I'm there back out.
Eh, I think you still there. I never know say you come back.
Yeah, man, I listen to you all a while, but most of your program that I do all on Thursday, you not take no call, so.
No, yeah.
So Lord, me hear you say you open before line, so much I'm going bless you.
Why, you can't get it, why? You get it like, wow, anytime you want to get it, you get it.
Yeah.
You have to tell me how to do it, and that when me call a radio station, I know what to do.
Well, I don't know more than you number until operator answer.
Eh?
Yeah.
And some people tell me them hold all 2 hours and can't get to 1 hour. But come like every time you call, you get in.
Yeah, but that's a bless you.
Yeah, man, give thanks to you from you.
I enjoy your program same way.
Alright.
And you know I love you always.
Alright, give thanks, Mama, give thanks.
Yeah,
love you
right.
too, yes. Alright, that is Irene Muma. Ghana, Canada, leave me. I cry, sure I'm a cry for her, you know. Yes. So come like, wait, me never get to ask her if she have, oh, she not no more birthday. It look like the one birthday she have, but she not no more birthday. If you have more birthday, mama, me come play again. Yes. Okay. We want to take some card. As you hear, she say, we want to take some card. We're in between time. We're taking the card. Out of Cote d'Ivoire. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Motor.
Blessed man.
Give thanks, man.
Alright.
But they are from 10 o'clock I take in the program, man.
Alright, give thanks.
David and Manchester, they from the release, you know, please, what you work hard to. Yes, man, so I give thanks, man, to tune as you, they're on #1 station, you know?
Alright, sir. I hope you're there till 6 o'clock. I hope you're there till 6 o'clock.
You never know, man, give thanks, man.
Alright, sir, give thanks.
Every time.
Yes. Yeah.
Yo, bless up, Muta.
I did.
Yeah, man, a couple of things I want to discuss with you this evening.
Yeah.
The first is the unnecessary, inconvenient.
Wait, come again. Wait, start over.
Planning of the scandal bag, the black ladder bag that everybody uses for commerce, poor people up and down this country being inconvenienced by this thing. You can use clear bag, you can use white bag, but you can't use a black bag. What do you think about this?
What is it? You can't use a black bag? Hello?
Muta.
Yeah, you say you cannot use a black bag?
No, you can't use scandal bag again. They banned homeless and then banned it some months ago.
Oh, you mean, yeah, but them ban all plastic bag.
No, you can still use clear bag and white bag.
I don't know about that, because when you go to the supermarket, them don't give you a bag.
They don't give you no bag at all.
Yeah, they have a bag that them sell you, and them give you a bag, so you carry your own bag.
You carry your own bag or you buy a bag.
So what you say, them shouldn't ban it?
No, man, they should, listen.
Why not?
This thing is humbugging business up and down the country. For what? What is the real purpose behind the bag?
The purpose of it, alright,
if they want to do something,
the purpose of the bag.
Give it a choice. But you can't just take away this utility item, a single-use plastic bag. How many times can you use a plastic bag?
Alright, you want to hear what purpose it serves now?
I don't. They say that they're trying to save the environment.
No.
By banning the plastic bags.
It's not only in Jamaica them ban it. Them ban it all over the place.
Eyesore and blockage and anything else. And they really need to put a $5 deposit on every plastic Magnum bottle, any bottle at all. And this would help solve a lot of the environmental problems that they're talking about.
It's not only in Jamaica them ban it, you know.
No, I know.
And you don't feel it's a good move?
No, I don't.
Okay, I feel it's a good move.
I think it's unnecessary.
I feel it's a good move. I feel it's a good move.
People having to walk out of supermarkets with the things in their hands.
Carry your own bag. No, you must learn to carry your own. You must learn to carry your own bag. That's what it must do. You must remember to carry your own bag.
And happen to make a quick purchase. I have to carry the stuff out.
Yes, leave the bag in your car. Leave the bag in your car. Leave the bag in your car. Why you laugh?
Yes, there's always things, but what we say?
Why you laugh when I say leave the bag in your car?
Inconvenient. We have no
choice.
It's
not inconvenient. It's not inconvenient.
Supermarket in America.
It's inconvenient. It's inconvenient to see so much plastic bag on the roadside. That's inconvenient about it. Why people do these things in America and nobody complain about it? And when it goes here, it complain. Why it's inconvenient? It's not inconvenient.
It's not bad. They have a choice.
You must get a no, not no choice. You either get a paper bag, buy a paper bag, or carry your own bag. They don't sell plastic bag in Whole Food. Them don't sell plastic bag. Them don't give you plastic bag in Whole Food. Them don't give you plastic bag in Trader Joe. Them don't give you plastic bag in certain parts of California. It's not no inconvenient. Nobody sees it as inconvenient. You carry your own bag or you get a paper bag.
Well, I've been up and down the place on the street, and I'm telling you, say the people are being inconvenienced. This thing is not.
They are inconvenient because they're inconvenient. You know why it is inconvenient? It is inconvenient because you are not brought up in a culture that make you do this, and so eventually people will get to understand and know that okay, we need a bag. I'm going to have to have a bag.
It's a dictating move, a dictatorship type of something.
No, that's not a dictatorship. Rubbish. Rubbish. It's not no dictatorship. It's rubbish you're talking. It's not no dictatorship. It's not no dictatorship.
We have no choice. Do you have any choice?
In most countries, there's a lot of countries that is doing it, and it's not dictatorship country. America is not a dictatorship country.
America is the biggest dictatorship on the planet. What are you talking?
A whole heap of countries is America not a dictatorship country. It's not a dictatorship on the planet.
It's the most corrupt place in the world.
I'm not talking about corrupt. I said, you're talking about corrupt. I say, America is not a dictatorship country, and a lot of states ban plastic bag. It is not an inconvenience. The reason why you say it is an inconvenience is because you're not used to it. Eventually, the people will get used to it because plastic bag and these all stupid styrofoams must not be used. I am in total agreement. It's not no dictatorship. You don't have to have a choice all the while.
Styrofoam I can see with. They can find other containers, but I'm telling you, this plastic bag is a big inconvenience.
No, it's an inconvenience because you're not geared to it.
But Muta, I left Jamaica when I was 6 years old. I grew up in Canada.
I never left Jamaica and I am 60 years old.
So I'm not somebody that fell off the turnip truck. When I'm telling you, say this is a dictatorship type of move.
Okay. All right, sir.
All right, the next point, though.
Yeah. Oh, you have a more point?
Yeah? You know that Jamaica has rated the best water in the Western world?
Okay.
But we're polluting our water.
Yeah, by plastic, put the plastic bag in there. By the plastic bag them.
Fluoride is a neurotoxin, deadly.
Yeah.
Rots your brain. Most European countries do not put fluoride in their water because they're concerned about their citizens' health.
Yes.
And I have brought this point up before. This thing is diabolical.
No, that I agree with you. That I agree with you. I am agreeing with you with that.
This thing is waste matter from industrial waste.
I am agreeing with you. I am agreeing with you with that.
I'm calling the government to stop it.
Yes. They're not going to stop it, but I agree with you. I agree with you.
All right, bless up you.
All right, sir. Give thanks. Yes. Plastic bag. Plastic bag and plastic bag. We need to develop a culture of bag carrying. People remember all the while. When they leave, they remember them key, car key. They remember to put on them shoes. Remember to leave a bag in your car. Or if you have a bag, wrap up one of those bags where you say about the place, biodegradable bag, and put it in the next bag where you walk with. If you know, say, you might go to the supermarket or you might pick up something. It's just simple. You might go to the supermarket. Well, just like how people smoke cigarette, you might smoke a cigarette, you have matches, you have a lighter in you have a lighter in your bag or in your pocket. You might smoke. So if you know you might smoke, you always have a lighter. You know, it's just so it go. It's just so it go. Especially if you're in a car. If you're in a car, you might go to the supermarket, keep a bag in the car. If you forget it, you have to go buy one for $50. Or get a box. Sometimes you go to the supermarket and they have a whole heap of old box. You just say, why you not in a box, Virgin? And a guy go around the corner and bring a box from here. It's not no inconvenient. It's inconvenient because people want to like this man I would say is a dictator. He's not a dictator. It was choice. And that choice is that this is what it is, and so it go. Okay. So here we go. We'll go forward to my bridge. All the money. Hey, we hear the Sunsplash. Hey, we hear the Sunsplash I come back, you know. Alright. I wonder if the Sunsplash people them brave enough to bring some artists from Africa to come perform. This is the Culture Edge. Yes, here.
Mota.
Yes.
Morning. The money almost run out me credit, man.
Me run it out? Me never, me slow right at something
no,
I move.
No, you, the man where they
The man run out your credit?
Yeah, man, I almost run out me credit in nonsense. So I'm here adjust.
100 meter.
You understand?
Where I say? Adjust, they have to adjust, man. You have to adjust, man. Maybe the government for money.
You need to travel understand how it thing around. Because me go Africa, me go Rwanda, and trust me, plastic sitting there back them I use. You understand me?
Biodegradable bag.
Yeah.
You gone?
Hello?
Where that's about Rwanda?
No, me I say the country clean and they sit there in body bag, years in body bag, and they just have to work with it.
Of course. Something you have to work with, man.
Anyway, I was wrong with me quick. Question. No, I want a question to ask you. Remember the lady where they are sent on when they live at the Marcus Garvey place.
Yeah.
And the government will move him.
Send them over back. They move them? They move them already?
No, me I asked if she won't get through.
Get through with what?
Yeah, one different house.
Bob the Green, they say them identify 2 houses. Don't you them tell them no one move from the Holy Parliament. But them tell them about the compulsory acquisition. You know the government can't do that. I know you hear nothing about it still. The compulsory acquisition. More than I hear to them, they identify 2 houses to put the people them in a St. Anya so I don't know. Maybe we have to go investigate it again. I hear it a go on. Yes. I don't know, my brethren. You gone? I'm gone for you. I'm gone. Here we go. Hey, man, I tell you, say, a whole heap of people who dep on the radio, I go take the chance to play them kind of music here, because I'm to the people, I'm going to turn off them radio. You know me I say now? Sometimes the people don't know what they want, and it is you who dep on the radio who control what's in front of you to test them. You understand? Now, I years we play them kind of music here, and the program are still the #1 program in the night of them over there. So we know say have people out there will listen to things that them don't used to. And we just say that in relationship to a comment on my phone. Them say, Muta, you're brave, you know. You play them kind of tune in Jamaica. Because them know say them tune we play a foreign and nobody no check it no way. But when you come here now, it's like you get adventurous when you play them kind of tune. The set of tune we play already. It's like you get adventurous because most Jamaicans don't want to listen to them kind of music here. But you have to get adventurous and you have to just dig deep and figure it out. If you want to just continue the same thing, the same way all the while, or you just want to make a difference in radio. And that is really what we do on the cutting edge. We try to make a difference in radio. Yes. Ill, cutting edge, ill.
Yes, respect, Mr. Good evening.
Bless you, man.
Yeah, I'm just asking pertaining to the youths, them that sing their repetitive music on the radio.
Eh?
I'm just asking them what they think about the music, the situation of the music. The youths, them that sing the music, them, what you think about it?
Which youth them? A whole heap of different youth that sing. What part of the music them?
Reggae, man. Reggae. Like, you know, the youth them that sing was about guns and crime and...
But me not think about it because I don't play them.
I know you don't play them, but
Well, from me no play them, you know what I think about it.
Okay, the influence on the society, you know.
Yeah. Well, from you hear me no play it, you know, say, me no agree with it and we just not really work with it.
You think the government should ban it or what do you think?
Ban the music?
The derogative ones that promote violence.
What you ask me, them should have banned the music?
Yes.
The gun music them?
Right.
I would have wanted to do it, but I guess it's, how them set up them things, you're free to do it certain things, you know. You see the gun lyrics now, them not really play it on the radio as such, you know, and certain things on the radio. Them not play it so much on the radio, because certain you can't play certain tune on the radio.
Well, it might not play on the radio, but I think it affects.
Yeah, but you can't control the outer road, eh? Or you control over outer road. You have to go lock up the producer. If you know who produce the tune, you have to go lock up the producer. But you have to have YouTube too. You can't ban YouTube. YouTube, you have no control over YouTube. You have no control over the social media.
It's not an easy.
Eh?
It's not an easy process then.
No, well, look on all the gun, look what if a movie are coming on the island where I'm born tonight from Hollywood. That's from one that.
We would take that as a movie.
Eh?
Some of us would just look at it and not know say it's a movie.
Then some of us don't listen to it and not know say it's a record.
No, man, it get personal. We know we're brethren and we kill your friend and idiot and you know, bad like me and...
Yeah, me understand the concern. Me not agree with it. If I'm me alone, it not play.
I think it influence crime, you know.
Of course. I don't disagree with it. Influence it, yes.
So I think the government should do something about it.
A long time we have talked about it, brethren.
I don't think them serious about crime. And the next thing...
No, but I know that specifically a cause of crime in the island. We say them no feel about crime because them no ban the music. A whole heap of things cause crime in Jamaica when not related to the music.
You give me one. I said the music is the number one influence.
What is poverty? Drugs? You understand that? That's the damn thing. Lack of family structure. Whole heap of things cause crime are not related to gun. Family structure, broke down family structure. Delinquent fathers who run left them picnic and go do something else. You know, all that whole heap of things, brethren. You can't see that. You think some of music cause crime in Jamaica? You think so?
But enough of them you tell where do things, them love, they're not poverty. And the poverty bring crime. Me I tell you, you ask me for some of the things them, you know. Me never say it bring crime. Me I tell you, say, lack of family structure, drugs, greed, what them call scamming, when a man can't get him money, where you get money, all of these things, all of them things there, cause crime start. So it's not like just gun. You can't say a gun or just music alone a cause a crime. Music alone no cause no crime in Jamaica, man. I agree, but we're gonna start clean from somewhere. Yeah, well, you start from family. You start from the family. If the family never break down, the gun wouldn't be necessary in the family for go get food. Or if you go just kill a man because him have money for you over the corner, you know, like him because that and that. Certain things is family structure. The family structure broke down, the father and the place. And you think you them in the ghetto listen to them father like what them listen to the music with them idol. No, but you know you me say, man. I say the family broke down. So them not if the family broke down, that means them go find something else. And one of the things with them find is music. Family structure broke down, that's the first cause. Family structure. The family structure broke down, that means no mother no there, no father no there. There was a time when your father and look, I say, your father don't lick you, your father look on you, you do where you're not supposed to do. Where you're gonna do your homework, him look on you. Nowadays you know no father in the house. The father them all 20-year-old them where they were are picking themselves. The mothers are picking themselves.
structure broke down.
We not very mess, then we not big.
The whole of we not mess. Of course we not mess.
What's your proposal?
My proposal?
Yes.
Develop forward the family structure.
In what way? Practically.
You mean for the father? Well, you have to put on and make sure to the father that when a man breed a woman, if you make sure to take care of the picnic. And if it's in the family, if you be a part of the family. Practically.
Breed a woman under the influence of Roma.
Eh?
Breed a woman under the influence of Ray Neville.
Yeah, him breed a whole man for a whole heap of things. A whole heap of things make him do it. But because I tell you, say, one of the things we must look on is how we now go forward to the family structure. Develop a family structure where the father is there for his children. Because most of the time it's only the mother there, you know. In a Jamaica, most picnic, including myself, yeah, get brought up by the mother.
You never got the wrong way.
No, because I didn't have other ones to look about me too. I didn't have my grandmother and family over the other side. My cousin them and thing where we go to work with. So they make sure say you go to school and all these things. The family structure is not only the man or the woman, you know, it's both man and woman. And grandmother too. You ever hear in Africa them say take a village? That is really where we want to return to.
The Western world don't really like that.
No, the Western world get we caught up in a McDonald's where we are go home. And Kentucky where we are come back home.
So it's another 200-300 years before we get it right then.
I don't know. I know I'm a limit on it.
Then that's what it said, you know.
It can happen tomorrow too.
Why what means? Not no sir. It's impossible.
Well, why you say 300 years? Then it's not impossible too.
No, man.
It's supposed to be 1,000 years. It can be 1,000 years too.
Yes, maybe that too.
Yeah, well, anything can happen, brethren. You never know. Certain things where you did I say, look, watch out. You know, how long it take you to talk on a cell phone and can see pictures of people in our next country. I know 100 years that take, you know. A man come up with a phone and then next almost 2 years him decide say, but you see that phone, yeah? You know, so we can make it take picture too. And you see that picture, yeah, you know, so we can make it send, but so simple.
Well,
it not take 100 years.
This quagmire of people and come up and new building something is a two different things. You know?
No. Is the things that when my grandmother take all her life to learn, a little youth right now come up and know how to do it. You ever see a little youth on a cell phone? Me ask some youth how to do this or how to do that. So it's not like say take 100 years. I mean, we might have looked on it that way there, but the way other thing I go now, information I move faster now. And the more information you have, the more things develop. Maybe the family structure going to be based up off of the amount of information that is presented in this time. You do have to take 100 years.
Let's see, boy.
Yeah, maybe we don't know how to see it still, but I tell you that now have to take 100 years.
Well, why it's not an easy road.
Because I have a cell phone, so now I never know so the things that I do with my phone, I never know so I could have it. All the computer, so. Me remember when we used to walk up and down with CD, with record, heavy no rotted. Then we go walk up and down with CD. Now, all of the tunes them I have on my top pocket.
See, you're talking about an individual thing.
No, not individual, it's the world. I know individual, it's the world, brethren. I know me one of it. Every disc jockey right now.
Cleaning up our little backyard here where we are right now. It's not an easy road.
No, when me I say to you that, you just say 100 years. To start, if you get a family structure, I mean, I tell you, they don't necessarily have to take 100 years to get back the family structure.
How long did America take and England?
How long did America take what?
To get a good structure in place.
Because those days were, yeah, but them days and now is 2 different time. Them days and now, how long it take to build the pyramid?
Me, you don't know that myself.
I mean, don't know that. 30 years. Me go past some pyramid in a Belize will take 100 years to build. No, it will even take 6 months.
Different place. You said the pyramid, and when we talk about pyramid, we always look to Egypt, don't we?
No, me not look to Egypt. Me say me just go to Belize. and say structures will take 100 years to build. The man them who did start build it never had no see it out end. No, me I tell you, say in these days, a structure like that, a man just get some cement and concrete and build it taller than that in a less than a year.
No, Mr. Hope, look on the analogy we're talking about people in America.
No, what me I say to you, that to build up a family structure, no, what me I say to you, to build up a family structure, we might use 100 years, and I tell you, say, given what we have at our fingertips right now and the information that's presented to it don't have to take 100 years to build up back a family structure. It can't take less than 50 years.
Practicality is two different things.
What is practicality and two different things?
Listen. Let me say something.
Yeah, okay.
You have a lot of information in your head right now. So do I. But having the information, and it is much more difficult to get practical than just having the information in your head. Am I wrong?
No, yeah, you're wrong, because you can use the information to further yourself.
Practically?
Yes, you can use information. How you think people are moving forward? It's information make you move forward, you know.
It is that easy.
Whether it's easy or hard, I am trying to tell you, say, it's information make you move forward.
Information not necessarily mean you're going to be successful.
I never said because you have the information you're going to be successful. I say it is information that move people and things and places forward. Information.
I agree. But how do we get practical? That's what I'm
saying. They're not practical. We are using information where we have to make it become practical.
Who doing it? Who?
We. If we get enough information, we can build things. If we know, say, A plus B squared plus C squared equal that squared, we can use that to build things. If we know, say, well...
Who is the we? Who is the we?
I mean, me and you, Bridget, me and you.
Me and you will know we forget any practical things.
Well, the man I say, man, you can't say that because you still in your yard now do nothing. Every day me do something practical with my information. This morning me use information for plant some things. Information me have. Me plant something. Information is what lead to practical movement. Information. If you don't have information, you get superstitious. So information. The more information you have, is the more you can create, invent, design, and whatsoever it takes to make the thing become practical. Information. The people with the more information is those that want to get ahead. And I am telling you, the more information we have, is the more we can develop a family structure in at this time, yeah. Because it's got a need to develop the structure, and it don't have to take 100 years.
Oh, well, I understand.
But that have to do with nothing.
What have you done practically to show me out there that?
No, you're not serious. You ask me that. Go up on the next question or in the conversation. If you ever ask me, what have I done?
Enjoy that, Mr. O.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. See, don't have fast now when you belong to me now and cool up the scene. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, man. So it go. Okay, here we go.
What does school teach you about money? Nothing. And that's not a mistake. That's not an accident. The way to keep the poor and middle class working hard is never teach them what the rich know. What the rich teach their kids about money, the poor and middle class do not. If you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Rich Dad's lesson number 1, the rich don't work for money. Don't you touch that stuff. If I pay you, you think like an employee. Your brain will change. If you learn never to work for money, you'll be a rich man. The people that are being screwed today are the poor and middle class because they work for money. You know, the banker, they're not working for money.
They have money working for them.
Yep. Very big difference in mentality here. What is financial education? It's not get a job, work hard, save money, and invest in a well-diversified portfolio, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs. That's not it. The financial industry is two things: debt and taxes. Debt and taxes. And we still tell kids to go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, and get out of debt. Now, who tells them to do that? That's the most ridiculous thing there is.
The book starts and it says, lie number 1, saving money will make you rich.
Yeah, it never will. You know that.
All taught that as kids.
Yeah, because they can print it. Why would you save it and why would you work for it if they can print it faster than you can work for it? And number 2 is they keep dropping the interest rates on it. You know, Japan still has zero interest rate policy. And the Japanese are the biggest savers in the world. And I'm Japanese, I'm 4th generation. They're not too bright.
Right.
Why do you keep saving when they're printing it? You know, when I'm in Japan, that's what I mean by fear. They're so afraid because the Japanese, good culture, but they do as they're told.
Right. It's very conformist.
Very conformist. So they just do as they're told, and then they just save money, and their government, this guy Abenomics, is just printing trillions of it and buying ETFs with it, and they don't know what to do. They're afraid they might make a mistake. They're good little students in school. Go to school, get a job, don't make mistakes. So what happens to the average person in a financial crash, they don't know what to do. And right now, as you know, for the middle class of the world, we're in a crash. You know, the purchasing power of the yen, the euro, the rupiah, all going down. And people are working harder and harder and harder, and the central banks of the world are printing more money.
And so if someone's listening to us that's stuck in that poor middle class trap and they hear it's their fear that ultimately is keeping them from that, that's a hard thing to hear, Robert. But you're going to give them the information about what they can do if they can get out of that fear.
Well, every time I do a lot of speaking to the masses out there, you know, Lehman doesn't invite me in because they're gone, but they go, what, you know, it's so risky. What you're saying is risky. And I said, what I do isn't risky for me. It's risky for you. And when somebody says, what is risk? You have to look in the mirror. Do you know what I mean? For me to fly in Vietnam, that was high risk. But the higher the risk, the more you have to study. You know that, I know that. So if you're not going to study, you're not going to practice and all that, then you should do what Wall Street tells you to do. Buy 401ks, mutual funds, ETFs and all that. But that's where they're fake assets, because they only make Wall Street or the City of London rich. Just watch where the cash is flowing. Follow the money. The reason the rich don't work for money is number 1 expense is tax. See, there's 3 kinds of income: earned, portfolio, passive. So earned income is if I get a job, that's earned income. If I'm a doctor or a programmer, that's earned income, because I'm working for it. If I buy, let's say, Apple for $10 and I sell it for $20, that's portfolio income, capital gains.
Yeah.
But passive income, which is cash flow, is never taxed. So it's not, and that's all these guys are screaming right now in America, tax the rich. I said, good luck. Because most of the guys complaining, they don't know there's 3 kinds of income. And the rich don't have jobs anyway. They have assets. And so the average schmo out there, a poor guy, you know, sent the kid to school, they don't learn this. So that's why in fake, as you were talking about it, there's a newspaper article about Jared Kushner, and he explains how the Trumps and the Kushners don't pay taxes and make millions of dollars. And the reporter couldn't understand him, because they're not, our schools will never teach you the 3 types of income.
And they judged him and say they're wrong and it's cheating, and we see that over and over again. Amazon not paying taxes. What do you say to people when they come up to you and say, Robert, it's not fair. It's not fair they're not paying taxes?
Well, there's always 3 sides to a coin, you know, heads, tails, and the edge. You know, so which side of the coin are you on? From my side, it's fair. But this is the difference. Everybody can do the same thing I do, because the tax laws are for everybody. You know, we don't say, well, the tax laws are only for the rich. No, the tax laws are for everybody to use if you have the right financial education. And the reason I'm an advocate of financial education, without that education, you have to pay taxes. You see, very few people will buy what I do, make $1 million and pay 0 tax. That takes, and my rich dad taught me that playing Monopoly. That's how it started, you know, 4 greenhouses, 1 red hotel. Or the McDonald's formula. I write about it there. McDonald's, Ray Kroc.
Yeah.
McDonald's is in the real estate business, so they sell hamburgers, but they buy real estate, so they pay no taxes. You know, this guy Bezos, well, he's $16 billion. How much tax do they pay on that $16 billion? Zero.
And that's all legal. Anyone can do it.
Everybody can do
it. Most people lack the education.
Correct.
So Jared learned about money when he was a kid by watching his father, or watching these people invest in real estate, and said, wow, not only do you get to make the money, you get to keep the money. That's a big problem a lot of people don't understand. They think, oh, look how much money I made, but how much did you keep? Because that could be half.
What tax did you pay?
Right, what tax did you pay? And so you always say, this is the law. The law is true for every citizen. You can do it, but most people just don't do it. Sometimes, like you said, they don't have the education. But you need to have a plan if you're going to go do risky things.
Well, it's not risky. I mean, to me, what's risky is having a job and paying taxes and saving money because they're printing it. You know, that's the worst thing of all. And that's why there's fake money, fake teachers. The teachers will never, they don't know it.
Right.
And fake assets, because Wall Street or the City of London or Lehman Brothers or Goldman and all, they're not going to tell you this.
Yeah.
How are there billionaire bankers today? Aren't they supposed to be watching your money, you know?
You said in here also, the greatest asset you have is your mind. What does that mean?
If you really want to be rich, take a class on real estate. Once you understand real estate is based on debt, learn how to use debt as money. So once you learn how to use debt as money, you can never say, I can't afford it. See, because the banks will give you, so the banks, after the crash of 2008, the banks gave me $300 million tax-free to buy real estate that the idiots had lost. I hate this, and then they were idiots because the prices were so high. Why would you buy it at the top of a market? Don't you know that's going to crash? No. This is, was the subprime is the derivatives market, that's MBSs and all that stuff. It driven the price of real estate so high, and the rest of us were just waiting. And then when the whole thing came crashing down, all this real estate was now available, and they needed, the Fed and those guys in the Treasury needed guys like us to go in there. So Wall Street gave us hundreds of millions of dollars to lop up all that real estate these guys had lost. Now, it's fair because everybody could do it. So, when I asked the average guy, I said, why don't you use debt? They can't even get a loan because their scores, their FICO scores, I don't even have them here, are so bad.
Right.
So that's what's going on in the world today. It's fake money, fake teachers, fake assets. The school teachers will never tell you that because they don't know it. My poor dad never knew that. And they think the rich are crooks. The rich just play by different laws. The rules are the same, but you have to do what the government wants you to do. Never say, I can't afford it. Ask yourself, how can I? The reason I have so much money is because I don't say I can't do it. I just go, how can I do it? And I just go and do it. I make a lot of mistakes, but that's how I learn. How can I? It's just a matter of personal willpower, which is spiritual. Just saying, if they can do it, I can do it.
And how can I?
How can I?
And I think it's you once said, words become flesh.
Yep.
You are listening to Mutabaruka. Still there, and I hope you have it way. Yeah, man, give thanks for the moment and the time. So we'll be back here from 2 o'clock to 5:45 with the stepping razor, the art of war. We will be celebrating 100 years of Miss Lou. Yes, we will be celebrating 100. Say Saturday is our birthday. I think it's the 7th of September. So we will be going through the paces with Miss Lou. Okay, listen. Billy coming through, this is the cutting edge, say, we're glad when the people them stay with me. Yeah, man, we feel it. We feel the vibes out there. We feel it. Yes, say, New Orleans are waiting for me. Yeah, New Orleans are waiting for me. And say Atlanta are waiting for me. Yes, Atlanta are waiting for me. And London are waiting for me. Yes, London are waiting for me. Double up too. Go one time and double up. You know, say Africa wait for it. Yes, Africa wait for it. So, you know what's here. So here what I say I know. Because we start out by talking about these three parties where in Jamaica, you know, the GLP, the PNP, and the PNP. You know, see, but me know say the whole of them are the same. Even though one attack was democratic socialism, but when you get right down to it, the whole of them get credence to Christian belief, and the whole of them still authority is Queen Elizabeth and her successors and her generations to come. You understand? So it's not like it's different. It sound different, and the people them look different, but at the same people them are run with life. And one of that expected that the so-called younger ones would do something different. But they are definitely not doing anything different. We are the same madness a come out of them mouth, same way. So it's not like say, because you're young, you know, because we need a younger group of people now to do the thing. It's not working out. It's not no younger nothing. And because you're old, you must go resign. No go so. You see? So, why do people them know that? Say, authority is what is given. And authority can be taken away. And the people them who claim themselves to be leaders, they are paid by the people who them supposed to lead. But guess what? If the people lead, the leaders will follow, have to follow. So it's time we start to lead. Because if we allow them to lead us, which is that we are doing, we can see what is happening to us. So here we know, you know what our favorite song is, our favorite tune is, right? It's like our little anthem. Here we go now.